Uh, I would like to say the truth here right now. I want you to understand me. And I want you to yani, I'm serious. Yani. This is not normal. What I'm going to explain about. Which group do you want me to? Let's start for I'll do it in a very short way. Those who call themselves Jews. As I explained in the first video, they are not Israelis. They are not Israelis. End of the story. They are not descended from Israel, this man called Israel. Either you are an atheist or not. Either you're an atheist or not. This is another topic. Israel, who his descendant lived in Egypt. Then after a person called Moses, he said that he's inspired by God, Gabriel, to go and liberate the Africans' land. The Africans, absolutely the biggest majority among them are Muslims right now. And you can find some in Palestine and other places. They are natives of Middle East. I'm talking about this race, Israeli race. They are not. Why they come, for example, from the Khazar, Ashkenazis, or Flasha, or Persian Jews, or others? Why they come and bother us by saying that not only the Holy Land, their lie that the Holy Land is theirs. No. They come and talk about places near Medina, Yathrib, places like Yathrib, and they start saying that, oh, our ancestor lived there in Medina. No, they did not. How can you explain to someone from the Flasha, African, or a Russian Jew, or a Greek Jew, or a Marseillan Jew, or an English, or maybe someone from the Rothschilds, I don't know, or a Belgian, or maybe a Chinese Jew. There is a Chinese Jew based on the father, the Chinese. When it's come to the Chinese, if your father is a Jew, you're a Jew. But when it's come to the other type of Gahams, Ashkenazis, if your mother is a Jew, you're a Jew. What is this? What is this, you Goham people? What is this? I'm serious. What? Why it's hard for you to recognize the truth? And he's saying there used to be a Jewish community in Taima. So Jews, we should return back. You mean the Israelis? You mean the tribes of Israel who all accepted Islam? Do you mean those? Huh? What is it for you? They were intruder from the first place. What is it for you? Why you're doing this? Why you're such a liar? Please don't delete the video. Why they're doing this? I want to ask. Why they are putting a map from the river to the river? What is this nonsense? Okay, someone would say, why they're mentioning Taima or Medina? Your ancestors have nothing to do with the Israeli race who used to live there. You got nothing to do with Judah. Why you are such a liar? Please, I need an answer, even from the YouTube, if there is complaints. Why they're doing this? Why they want to damage and destroy the Ishmaeli people's life? Don't you ever think that what I am complaining, maybe you like it, what happened? A person without a penis and a model prostitute. Maybe you like it if you're working the YouTube. I don't know, but don't you ever think that this won't happen? Was what would happen if there was no so-called Israeli state and a lot of lies? They are behind it. What do you want from Taima? So there will be a lot of pressure and lies against the agent. I call them agents, it's my right. Al Saud. And I have explained how they become reached power and what happened before in the 18th, 19th, 20th century. I have explained the decades. Why they are talking about Taima and Medina, would you please explain to me, please? Why even before they talked about Eastern Province before? I mean, people who are from European ethnic groups, either Greece, Marseille, Italian, not because they call themselves Jews, you want to bring them to us in the Holy Land, and they start claiming that they are descended from the Muhammad have kicked it. I want to know, Muhammad killed you all? Killed the Israelis who used to live in Medina? Or kicked them, or what exactly? They all accepted Islam. They all believe that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is the final. And they all start considering Judea as a way that bring anger of God. Not only because it's manipulated and corrupted, because its time and era is finished. And they accepted the Son of Virgin, the Messiah. Why you don't want to see this? Why you come and play and tell Rabi' and our Qudus, our secret city, and you look, we used to be there in Taiwan. Taiwan only Jew used to live there. We should be there. The Saudi Arabia give us money for our because it's our ancestor. What about the Palestinians who among them real native Israelis who you kicked and killed their children in front of them and bombed their houses? Why they are Shaman Boris? Why they are sending us rockets? Because you killed them and kicked them outside of their native land. You Ashkenazi, go ahead. Please don't delete the video. Please don't delete the video. Okay, this is a part 1. Part 2. The truth should make you happy. Okay? The so-called Shiite. The real Israelis, before the Roman attacked the secret city, Jerusalem, and they glorified Al-Qudus, this is the meaning. When they attacked it, this is the meaning. When they attacked our city, before it and after, there was some militia, their groups that was called terrorist group, like Daesh, fighting the Romans. I'm not joking. Exactly. Group in the mountain, in the hills, attacking the Romans, saying, get out. They were mujahideens. Before the Romans destroyed Masjid, the house of Allah, the house of Yahweh, house of temple, before 2,000 years, or after it, there was attacks among the Israelis and others who accepted the Messianian way. Before Muhammad, peace be upon him, the final messenger. Even before Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Virgin, who used to, the ground of excuse, the ways, the viciousness start going down. I mean, the stocks of explaining about God went down after Zerdashani and things. Now, there is a lot of things that I need to explain about, but I have no time. And I don't want to go to the branch. What did they do? And other cults. Some of them used to worship the vagina. I mean, the vagina. But the fires. There is a story after Islam. 14 monks of those who used to worship the vagina raped a 14-year girl or less and killed her. So they took them to judicial Islamic. I shouldn't mention this story because it's terrible. There is a young girl who died. Yes, they put them in chairs, and this is what they used to do. They start kissing, and then they rape the woman. 14, unbelievable, very young. 14 men, monks. I don't know how old is she. Definitely a young virgin. They killed her. At the time, I think after Umar ibn Khattab. Now, there is a place called Madain Kisra. Why the Persian believe that it's for them? Madain Kisra in Iraq. You Persian have attacked the Iraqis. And you took this, the Babylon. This made the Babylon accept Islam, and Ashuris and others in Syria accept Islam very fast to get rid of the Persians. Why the Persian? Do you know there is a war called Diqar War. It's a battle, Diqar War. It's between the Ishmaelians, by the lead of Unaza tribe, and among them real Israelis. Okay, Unaza. Do you know what they did? They killed the Persian even before Muhammad, and Muhammad have talked about this, peace be upon him. But there was no religion. They killed the Persian. Why they are lying? This is part 2, the video itself. Why all of these lies? Why the so-called Shiite just want to live in these lies? You want to live these lies? Good for you, fine. Good to you, good for me, fine. Why you want to implement it on me? And if there's any type of reactions, you start messing around. Daesh, Irhab, Nasib, while you are the biggest terrorist on planet Earth, on yourself and against yourself. When I was in JIC, in the Arabian Peninsula, and even in Sabiq company. There is a so-called Shiite in the eastern province. These people are living a lie. And we cannot explain. I cannot because the government will never allow you. Imagine, do you think that the government will allow me to explain the Ishmaelian territory and what happened before Muhammad and after? No, because the Saud house will be exposed as a terrible, disgusting agent in all Gulf states. This is the work of the devil. And who's taking advantage? The people of God. You're not people of God, you so-called Israeli Jew. Why you want to call yourself people of God? You are the people of the devil. You bring collapses. You are mufsideen. And the so-called Jew, yes, you are. Yes. This so-called Israeli state is behind the destruction. You're part of it. You're one of the circles. And the so-called Shiite, why do you want to take advantage and lie and accept the lies? You're Persians, and this is Baluchistan, and this is Kurdistan, and this is Ahwazistan. It's not enough that you're occupying these countries. You're messing around with Saddam Hussein before and after Saddam Hussein. And you're helping the what? The West. And Russia, Gog and Magog, the so-called Christianity created something crusading. Even if they are atheists or communists or whatever. Russia, with the so-called Iran state, attacking and helping and supporting and protecting Bashar, and the so-called and the Western, the Bush Jr. attacking Iraq, helping the so-called Israelis. What is this? And keeping their mouth shut about the Syrian regime and helping to protect it. And attacking our Ishmaelian. What is this unjust? Gog Magog. The Chinese taking advantage against the Eastern Turkmenistanese natives. They are natives, it's their country, and they are complaining from the Japanese. I'm wondering why the Chinese are complaining from the terrible things that the Japanese did today, while they are doing worse, hiding it right now. To the poor, look at the poor Eastern Turkmenistanis, the Indian, the so-called Indians. Why you want to lie? Why you want to have something to do with the persecution that I am receiving? So I had dreams, none came true. Allah protected what they cannot touch, other things concerning myself. I lost. I faced persecution. No, you are living in happiness and comparison. Alhamdulillah, I am comparing to other Muslims who faced a lot. I am very lucky. May He, the owner of this existence, put you in worse position. Al-Vedio Adlam. You accept all of this lies and you try to impose it on us. Look at the non-Ishmaelians. I'm not talking about all. Among the non-Ishmaelian wonderful people. Look what they are doing. Look at the media trying to persecute the natives and their identity and their culture and bring bad information about them. Why? You cannot see it, huh? I agree. It's hidden and obvious at the same time. The Africans, talking about since slavery. I'm not talking about all. There is a lot of racism in America against black people. It's obvious. But how dare you say that Muhammad is behind in slavery? Oh, woe to you. Muhammad have fought in slavery, fought against it. He fought 23 years, even before he became a messenger. He didn't like it. He did not like it. And he never had slaves, servant. Muhammad never had slaves. Never. Anas, يخدم, servant. He's not a slave. And look what he said about Muhammad. He was treating me like a father. Never raised a voice at him. Always smiling at me. He's anti-slavery, but there is an instruction. And slavery is part of this word. There is a word, when he across the border. Release a head. Free the slaves. Of course, sometimes you're dealing with bad army men who did a lot of crimes. There is three options. Either to kill them, or to enslave them, or to release them. Enslave them, there is a way. There is, but I'm not talking. women, Muslim didn't attack non-Muslim women for 14 centuries. And even Islam didn't start with Muhammad. This is your problem. You cannot understand this. They lived in peace. Those women in their houses, you don't touch them. Those people in their houses or their makhbas or those who are in with the war itself, the attitude of war. Yes, there is law. And slavery, these hundreds of women that used for men comfort, crazy and nuts and have no families, and there is law. 4 months between man to another man to have sex with. So a woman cannot be shared by 2 men within 4 months. 1 man to 4 months. If a man is gonna, for example, release her, free man, she need to wait for, or a man sold her 4 months before touch her. Not like 50 men in 1 day, like they used to handle in the. I mean, until now in some armies. Yes, it's God's instruction. What is your problem with it? Go and look your scriptures. Why the Muslims are not answering this? Yazidis. The Yazidis, why it's always about the Yazidis? I feel sorry if there is an innocent people, but also among those who call themselves, they're called Daesh, they are a result of insane, unjust. Yazidis, maybe the Yazidis themselves did something to the Muslim Sunni. That's why they reacted. We always talk about Yazidis. We don't talk about Christian women. There is Christian in Syria under the Daesh power. They used to pay jizya. There is a reaction. I understand. Sometimes, and I saw some videos. Why they didn't enslave their women? Why the Yazidis? I'm not with or against. I'm against you. If you're helping in creating this, because you're in hellfire. You will be in hellfire. Lies, 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 and slavery. Islam have nothing to do with slavery. If there is a Muslim who do something like you doing it to each other, look, go to some certain communities in Africa right now. Look at the rape statistic. They can't even find out the truth. Every minute, 10 women are raped in some areas. Populated. Oh, yes, I have the right to explain this way. Islam have nothing to do. If there is a bad Muslim, he's not complying because there is reason allowing him to not comply. Or he's a criminal. That's why there is the lines, al-hudud, the borders. If you cross it, there is a punishment. With a certain understanding to it from A to Z, not just border, al-hudud, the lines, al-hudud, al-hadd al-Islam, al-hudud, al-Sharia. I'm talking about Islam. If there is some, slavery started from the African themselves, and yes, the West took advantage. And there wasn't slavery in China, by the way, to be, for your knowledge, and in Persia before. And in India, there is line of society. So it's not only about Africa, but it's obvious that there is racism against the black people in Africa to a certain level. It's obvious, okay? In some other, the Ishmaelian territory, the black are wonderful, but there is also racism against the Ishmaelian from the black people. And maybe there is some cases from Ishmaelian against, maybe, but you don't just throw out your stones against me, attack. Islam have nothing to do with slavery. Muhammad have nothing to do with slavery. Berber, maybe they are Berber, other part Africans who did bad things, speaking Arabic. Maybe, but in slavery itself was empowered by the Spanish people, who are a result of European attacking the real native Spain, who are Andalusian, who ran away to Algeria and Morocco, and this became an industry. And the slaves in the Arabian Peninsula used to live like in heaven. I mean, there is no difference between a slave in Arabian Peninsula before 2 centuries and, with my great respect, African worker for farm or with sheeps. I mean, what? Your owner, there was no one owning you. It's the leader of the tribe, and you are before the Africans there. The Abid of this tribe, so they are with this tribe. But and I see a lot of old videos, they are just fine laughing at the time of Abdulaziz. There may be some cases, even between themselves, like in Africa and other places, yes. But we cannot say that it was in slavery in the Arabian. But look how some Africans are using it right now. I don't want to go too deep in this. Why there is attack like this? There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the final messenger of God. I'm talking about the Persian right now, who are lying about Middle East, calling themselves Shiites, and those mainly starting from the European Jews, lying about Middle East, affecting the Ishmaelian people life. And China is taking advantage after 11 September, the side job. Everyone is involved. India. Okay. Wallahi, I'm not lying. I swear to Allah, I'm not lying. I'm saying the truth. I'm saying the truth. From A to Z. There, at the end, it's a personal case with an alignment of understanding the Ishmaeli people right in the Ishmaeli land, with an alignment of understanding Islam. This doesn't mean that the non-Ishmaelian have, a'udhu billah, there is a lot of scholars of Islam who are not Ishmaelian, just perfect, wonderful, absolutely. And there is non-Ishmaelian who just represent lie and infidelity and terrible things. Like Ishmael, whatever, but there is a law, there is a certain things that must be understood about the Arabian Peninsula. Something to do with religion. مكة المدينة أخرج المشركين من جزيرة العرب لا يجتمع دوننا في جزيرة العرب القدس أهل. Others about what is happening right now. What's happening is, inshallah, I am from those who are in heaven, is that there is a lot choosing hellfire and bringing collapses to humanity and bringing disasters and not accepting this to themselves and doing this unjust. No, they want to impose it on others by lies. And I know it's a complicated subject. It's a very complicated. But anyway, I need to close. Thank you. Please don't delete the video.